The high costs of inaction in business. Growing a business is hard enough when things are going well, yet so many business owners compound the challenges they have by failing to act when action is clearly called for. The area of inaction I see most often, literally every week, is the failure to act when there are employee performance issues. Now, we all know someone else in business that has that toxic and or underperforming problem child, and we are so clear that they should do the obvious. Yet we don't do it for ourselves and our own business. Couple the top signs that you are ignoring the actual problem are the belief that if you just had a few more policies in place, all would be better. And you spend as much or more time talking with others about the employee than you do anything else about your business. There are three main problems with failing to act in situations like these. Your team suffers, your clients suffer, and you and your family suffer. Let's take a quick look at each of these areas and see what the signs are. So your team suffers. Failing to take action when an employee isn't pulling their weight has a huge impact on your team. They likely have to step in and compensate for the work not being done or being done wrong, typically without any recognition or thanks. In fact, often it's the underperforming employee who gets the thanks. Now their own work suffers, they're distracted, and work becomes much less enjoyable for them. Everybody's quality goes down. They often spend the first part of their day wondering which version of their teammate is going to be walking in the door that morning. Is this the environment you want for your team? They will end up resenting you far more than they resent their coworker. Your clients suffer as well. When your team is suffering, that will always end up impacting your clients one way or another. Sometimes immediately and obviously, but even if it's not immediate, eventually there will be a client impact no matter how hard the rest of the team tries to compensate or cover it up. The impact on a client can be as obvious as schedule delays, return products, canceled orders, or it can be subtle as small errors compounding over time, and even the client's team tries to compensate for your team's failure to deliver. Some clients will tell you before they leave. Others just have enough other options that they just move on to another company, another supplier for their business without even ever mentioning to you what the problem was, because they're just simply easier to work with and you just don't even see what's happening in your own business. Last area is you and your family suffer. Running a business and managing a growing team are stressful enough without toxic and underperforming team members. The added stress of knowing that an employee isn't getting their work done just builds and builds over time, which means you start bringing the stress home with you without even realizing its source. You snap at your kids or your spouse, not even knowing why, after a day of tolerating poor performance and behavior. My last thought on this subject is simply this. In 22 years of coaching, I've never had a client terminate an employee and then come back and say they wish they'd kept them around for another 6 months. It's almost always the opposite. They realize they wish they had taken action 6 months earlier when they realize the stress that has been removed from the entire business. They were the last one and their entire team's been running. What took you so long? If you'd like to know how the Action Coach Business Operating System, or ABOS, can help you to manage your team's performance better, to avoid these situations, and then act quickly when the problems can't be resolved, go ahead and click on the link in the description to schedule a quick 15-20 minute chat with me to learn how to get started.